high-speed train that says on it. I think that's taking the piss, to be honest. High speed, my ass. Been here for 25 minutes waiting. High speed. There's literally no one on the lake on this side, so this is absolutely mental, to be honest. I'm not used to this down here, but panning out, I've got such a good view that I can have a look where the fishies are. Right, well, I've just got on the lake, guys. It's empty. There's like one other bloke on. So it's looking good, I guess, because I've got the whole lake to myself pretty much. So I'm just standing down the middle end of the lake looking for shows, really. So not seeing anything yet, but I'll probably spend about half hour or so just having a good look from here, because from here I can scope this whole sort of leg of the lake from down this side. And I've also got a pretty good view of going up towards the middle bowl, around the island there in the middle. So it gives me a good scope, so I'm going to stand here, have a good look for a little while and just see what's happening, really. So don't want to waste time setting up in a swim that might not do anything when I can remain pretty mobile with the barra and jump on something that I might see. So yeah, speak to you in a bit. So after looking about, I think I'm actually going to go in this swim. So it's swim 3. The wind's pushing down into this part of the lake. It is a cold wind, so it's a bit bitey, and usually I'd be deterred by that. I'd be trying to hold somewhere on maybe the back if it is a cold wind, just going from the off. But I'm finding it a little bit familiar. So looking about, down here we've got bird life, smashing the life out of swim 1, and then sort of down in 5 over there, bird life again. In here it's almost a bit like the bird life's a little bit spooked. So I know sometimes people think the opposite. I meet a lot of anglers and when you're talking, and they're like, well, the birds are showing you that the fish are there. For me, on here, I'm not saying on any other lake, but on here, I've noticed that it's actually the other way. If the birds are buggered off, or they're showing in areas around, then that's usually a sign for me, from experience on here, that there's a good chance that it's the fish spooking them off. So I don't take that as gospel for every lake. It's not. It's very, very different, lake dependent in my experience, but we'll give this a go, because to me, I think it's a good shout, to be honest. It's hard when you've got the whole lake to choose from. So yeah, let's see. Right, well, we're in swim, so I'm in swim 3. So I've got 2 rods out so far. Got one rod out at about 5-6 wraps. Got me all excited then. I've got one rod out about 5 to 6 wraps to my left, so fishing nice and short on that one. And I've got the other rod about 10.5 wraps out to the right. So the middle rod, I've seen some fish fizzing and bubbling out on the middle. So I'm gonna wrap that one up now and get that out on the spot. But first I want to show you the rig. So I'm going to build the rig up, show you what I'm using and how I'm going to be presenting that rig out there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll manage to nick one. It's pretty bloody cold. The wind chill's pretty cold, gotta admit. I mean, it was lovely this morning, bright sun. It was looking clock on, to be honest, to hit some of the warmer areas of the lake. So warmer, shallower areas of the lake that will be a bit warmer, taking in the rays. But I don't know, this just felt right when I got here. So yeah, let's see how things go. Hopefully we can snatch one. It'd be really nice. It's been so long since I've been out. It'd be a proper treat to put one on the bank. Not for the fish, but for me. Oh well, let's have a look at them rigs. Right, before I send it out, let's have a quick look at the rig that I'm using. Nothing's really changed from my last session on what I'm using. This rig I use 90 to 95% of the time down here. So we've got a length of fluorocarbon there as the boom section. This is called a IQ, 20 pound. Then it's wrapped up with an all-bright knot to some soft braid, ripping the coating off of it. And then this is fixed on slip D style, so using a loop in the braid and going over the hook and back. And then that's set off with a tungsten liner, giving it a good kick. So I'm hoping we can see that in there. Let's try and focus that in a bit. So yeah, you can see there's the aligner, so giving it a good little kick, right in line with the point of the hook. And then using a little mini ring swivel for bait attachment. So it's nothing too fancy, but having that kick out boom section with this nice soft bit of braid gives the rig a good natural hooking capability. I love this rig, to be fair. It's done me so many fish on this rig that I've grown so much confidence in it, and they're not too difficult to tie, which makes it even easier really. So we're going to stick a wafter on this now. So current wafter that I'm using, these are the Baitworks Heaven wafters. So I use these or Hells. I do tend to use the orange Hells more, just for the really overpowering stench that they give off. So, but we're going to sling some of these on there. Well, I'm going to sling one of these on there. We don't want more than one. So I'll wrap that up now, stick it on, and show you how it looks. So first we take a length of bait floss. And then you get your little mini wing swivel. That's through. One lovely fruity wafter. I tend to use the Calder fine needle, only because when you're using bait floss, it's nicer to have that snug little hole that you can easily, when you melt your bait floss down, it will make it more sort of compact, less chance of water going through the middle. So let's get that in. Yeah, it's the one thing with these fine baiting needles, catching it's the awkward part. Once you're through, it's brilliant. There we go. Get that in there. Oh, I just snapped it. No, we're good. So there's some. Snip it so you've got enough that you can just melt down. Probably about, say about there. Scissors are on the way out. These are years old, man. And then somewhere is my lighter. Here we go. And melt that down. And then once it's melted, pad it off. I'll just use the edge of the lighter. And that is nicely sealed. And that is looking ready to roll. Right, hopefully this will give you a better look at the rig. It's a bit hard when you're filming it from above, but right, well, this is a closer look at the rig. So there's my wafter. So if you look, the hook point generally sits in line with a tungsten aligner, and there's your boom section tied off to your soft braid. And I've just got a little tungsten quick change sleeve just there, just to keep everything pinned down. Right, we're losing light now. In about half hour it's going to be dark, so I thought this is the best time to give you guys an update. So all 3 rods are now out on the money, all singing, all dancing. Left hand rod I've got on a close in spot, about 5-6 wraps out, so it's done me fish in the past. I know it's a proven spot. Middle and right rod are going out about 10.5 wraps, so pretty much the lays 10, 12, 2 in the way I'm fishing, so it's a fairly even spread in direction. So a few Cremino boilies on each area, so I'd say 15 boilies max per rod, and a handful of pellets, Cremino pellet. I don't want to bait too heavy. Last thing I want to do is the temperatures are now dropping, and I don't want to start filling it in. So what's done well for me in the past, in the colder months, light baiting. If you do get a take, top it up. So I'm going with that sort of approach. There's not really too much else I can say for now. It's cold. This wind has got a proper bite on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my own ready and get the kettle on, to be honest, have a nice cup of coffee, get a bit warmer, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, my toes crossed. You can't see my toes, but I'm going to keep it all crossed. So it'll be really nice to come down, have a fish, especially after it being a while since I've been out. So hopefully I'll be speaking to you in the dark with a fish. If not, we'll catch up with you in the morning. Cheers guys, see ya. Right, good morning guys, it's the next day now. Quiet on the fish front, nothing to report there. Last night was absolutely freezing, but 1 in the morning till 5 AM it hammered down with rain, sort of solid, and being the wally I am, I left my infill panel for the front of the bivvy at home, so I had no choice but to be open fronted. And as you could probably see there from the ripple coming in, because this swims on like a platform out on the water, you don't really get too much protection. So yeah, bit of a cold night. I had the nice warm sleeping bag, so when I was in there it was all good. But now what to do? I've got 5 hours left, 4 to 5 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a little bit more bait out on my left hand rod, the one at close quarters, and hopefully I'm going to put that rig out as well, redo it, only because there was a few occurrences through the night. I just want to make sure that that rig's all singing, all dancing really for the rest of the time remaining. So yeah, we'll get a fresh rig on, put a little bit of bait out, back on the spot. The other two, I ain't really got any concerns that they're not fishing. I've got no reason to not think they are. They landed well. They're going to be fine to see it out. But this left rod, I've got a bit of concern there. So if in doubt, sort it out. Yeah, so let's see. We've got a little bit of time left. Always a chance of snatching one. It's not over till the fat lady sings. Well, as always, I'm using the ever faithful Creamino by Baitworks. So yep, this has been my bait of choice for over the last year now, I'd say. Yeah, year and a half, gotta be. So caught me plenty of fish. It's a great bait. It's as it says, it's Creamino, so it's a creamy, sweet sort of bait. Brilliant. Any sort of my other vlogs you would have seen, I cover these. High faith in it. Got no reason to ever doubt the bait. It just does everything I need it to, and I'll be continuing to use it. So let's get some out, get it out on the spots. Hopefully it can save a blank. Fish weedy lakes, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Well, there's not really too much you can do when you're fishing weed like this. Right, so this is the weed I've just brought in with the left rod, bringing it in. It wasn't weeded up until I started reeling in, so. But when you've got weed like this, there's not really too much you can do. To be fair, it's Canadian stuff really, so when you're playing the fish when it's like this, that's not a problem. Just sometimes you catch a bit, but I want my rig, so I've got to go through all this, and I don't want to put it back in the water. I'm going to chuck it off to the side, not to let it drift over some other poor angler's gear. Okay, there was some naturals in here though. Eventually we find our rig. Look, bait's still alright, I suppose that's one bonus. Let's get this over there. Woo, it's cold. You on salad with your doner, mate?